Girl, if you thought Love is Blind Season 6 took the cup as far as dating experiments go, wait until you see the hot mess that took place on the Ultimatum South Africa, because wow, you could have never prepared me. Nolla being the ultimate player caught with his pants on the floor, Khanya being the super villain, and the fact that the storyline ended with her being humiliated in the same way she clearly wanted some of the girls to feel when she bullied them the entire time. She really gave us mean-spirited delusional diva with mean girl energy on steroids. But even with her villain added, it was sad seeing the embarrassment on her face when instead of her marriage proposal that she's been begging and pleading and clawing for, Nkateko still played in her face. And it was unsurprising because, girl, weren't you the one throwing wine bottles and pouring wine all over that man in one of your aggressive tantrums? We don't know that girl personally and we are definitely no shrinks, but she really looked like she was spiraling half the time and she made sure everyone suffers for it, Kesana. Why does she even want to get married to Nkateko at this point when they are both so miserable together? She really said that man was fake and called him a slut alongside Sizakele. The whole thing made it look like she was settling for Nkateko and expected him to jump whenever she snaps a finger. And he looked like she's out of her league and he's just happy to be there. Oh, he is in a sunken place. Things were always going to explode between Nolla and Lebo, and I for one think they really had no business being on this particular experiment. Not that I am complaining, because Nolla's Playboy tricks gave us quite the show, and if for nothing, hopefully Lebo can now fully move on from that man. He went on the show and decided to have the most amount of sex with the girl he just met, Kanti all the while he knew he still wanted to make things work with Lebo, whom he considers the love of his life. Tell me why this man is spiraling when Ruth reveals that she and Nolla had been getting freaky pretty much every night during their time as trial spouses in their trial marital home. The way things escalated so quickly after that, with Lebo losing it, and with Nolla and Isaac almost coming to blows because Isaac couldn't believe that his ex and situationship is moving on and getting served. Love what Ruth did on the show, because it's quite clear that Isaac has been taking her for a ride. How are you going to convince this woman that you wanted to marry her and build a life with her when you have never so much as introduced her to any of your family or relatives?
I can't help you with the kind of crazy stories that you tell. This makes no sense to me.
You want to act all bothered? Love that she stood on business about the fact that she wanted to have sex with Nolla, and that's what she did. And she won't be shamed for it, not by Isaac, and certainly not by mean girl Khanya, whom she gathered very swiftly when she tried her.
She tried stepping on me as she does. I'm with a lot of people, and I pressed an accelerator. And then she had the boom, and she knew it was okay, James.
But outside of the cheating, the breakups, the failed engagements, the fights, and all the drama, we actually got no less than 3 successful happy endings. And for me, the couples that ended up getting engaged really seemed to have been the strongest anyways. I mean, yeah, there was a ton of issues to be worked through. It was lovely seeing Lindile and Sizakele finally make a life commitment to each other. Although they will really have to continue to work on their relationship because Lindile had some styles, bro. That time at the beginning when he shut down Sizakele when she called him babe, and even went super cold when she said she loves him. I mean, I know they came to the show to get all the clarity they needed about where they stand, let alone commit to a whole marriage. But he seemed like a jackass in that moment. No other ways about it. I was ready to say, okay sis, wrap it up. This man doesn't like you. But as the episodes progressed, I think we really began to find out just how much they truly and deeply cared about each other. Same can be said for Genesis and Thabi. They even looked good together. Though they too had to work through a ton of troubles in their relationship, and Thabi was not understanding why it was taking this man so long to commit and to get married. And by the time it became clear that they really do want to spend the rest of their lives together, I had just been happy to see how open they were to this whole experiment. Thabi and Lindile really had a time, though I don't think he saw anything beyond Sizakele. Even though at some point, it looked a little like it had to take him seeing Sizakele being happy with Nkateko for him to really see that she's that girl. See? Courtney and Aiden were definitely the least troubled couple on the show's first season, but even they had to work through some issues because that man has some commitment issues. And shouts out to Aiden for being a non-judgmental support system for the couples going through it. That white man was shook. We are getting into the first 9 episodes of the show ahead of its upcoming reunion. What parts gagged you? Clap back in the comments, like and share this video to boost us in the algorithm, and subscribe to the channel. Move over, Date My Family, and Love is Blind, and all of those. There's a new girlie in town. A spin-off of the global hit social experiment, The Ultimatum Marry or Move On, has now made its way to Mzansi. The Ultimatum South Africa launched on Netflix on Friday, May 10th, with 6 couples asking the age-old question, do we marry or do we move on? Hosted by South African power couple Selamina Mosese and Hausa Mosese, the 9-part series features 6 couples who undergo a test of trust, true love, desire and honesty. In the not-so-traditional dating show format, the Ultimatum South Africa requires one partner ready for marriage to issue an ultimatum to their partner who's wary of taking a trip down the aisle. Part of the format involves the couple swapping with other couples to test their commitment and readiness. And that, right there, is the ingredient that gave us the most dramatic scenes in the world of dating in Joburg. Out of the whole series, the biggest villains ended up being Khanya and Nolla, starting with Khanya, who served mean girl energy from the moment she stepped on the scene. She went from criticizing people's buying skills to calling people's wines cheap and calling their shoes cheap. Girl. She went on to fat and slut shame Sizakele, all because she was seething with jealousy and envy about the fact that Nkateko seemed to be having genuine chemistry with her.
This is not your house. Go stand there. Go stand there. You and your goofy boom boom are disrespectful. You and your fat hood rat are disrespectful. Stand there. Stand there if you want to talk to me. Don't come put your filthy feet with your cheap shoes in this house.
So by the time he gave her a promise ring instead of proposing to her, we had all seen it coming. Their relationship needs to end. Khanya, by the way, is such a beautiful woman, and I actually did like her villain edit at first because it was given main character energy with a touch of authenticity. It was gold for reality TV, but as things progressed, it became clear that she's very much not a kind person. I personally think she needs help. I don't know, she seemed exceptionally miserable, snobby, and just unable to get along with anyone in a way that made me feel sorry for her. They are now saying Nolla is a good representation of the dating scene in Joburg right now. It's just really funny how that man thought he could finesse both Ruth and Lebo and get his way, and then continue to lie in Lebo's face like nothing happened. Did they even tell him that this show was actually going to air? Now that the world is watching him lying through his teeth about something that we all saw. And not only that, he really tried to place all the blame on Ruth. That she decided to tell the truth about them getting intimate. Like, yeah, how dare you? Because that's what caused all the problems. Hey, Nolla. I'm also glad at the game Ruth played because in the end, her relationship with Isaac was not working. That man had been playing in her face and clearly didn't have any intention of settling down with her. I mean, he's been hiding her from his friends, for one, who said they think he's unsure of Ruth. And when Khanya was in the picture, he jumped for joy at securing the pretty hun and was more than happy to flaunt her to his relatives, only to find out that she's not his mate. I'm glad that Ruth curved his silly proposal and stood on business about his whole thing being phony. She's way too pretty and she definitely deserves way more than that. Happy though for the couples that finally got their engagements, although still side-eyeing Lindile for saying, can we refrain from calling each other baby in the beginning? I cringed. We cringed. Tell us what you think in the comments, like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching this mess until the end. Until next time, bye.